Fam, based on a true story is what got me with this movie. Dusk for a Hitman, this is a violent, bloody trip. Coming out on April the 19th, I was lucky enough to check it out early. Hitman stories are usually all the same, but I think this movie was able to really stand out from most of them. This is the story of a hitman turned informant Donald and his boss and really good friend Claude. Now, they were the most notorious and deadly French-Canadian hitman of their time. Outside of a couple of badass dudes with no mercy, this was the story about the hitman himself. It's a character study of not just the gangster, but a man that even though he's done some pretty shitty ass things in his life, he has to come face to face with a situation that's gonna leave him between a rock and a hard place. He's a family man, he's got kids, a wife, and a dysfunctional ass loose cannon of a brother that just shows up at the wrong time, but hell, he loves the guy anyway. Fam, some shit goes down in this thing when he's asked to do something pretty damn terrible. And it's this particular job that's gonna turn this man's life and everything else around him completely upside down. This movie brings a lot of tension, fam, right along with it. As you walk along with this guy that's given himself two options, and no matter which one he picks, he's gonna be fucked either way. I really enjoyed the movie. There wasn't a lot of shit happening, but I did like the story. Being that this is a French-Canadian film, I am kind of hoping that it's going to be available in both French and English tracks when it gets released so that everyone will get an opportunity to enjoy it. Now, I watched it in the English dubbed version, and I feel that transfer was pretty good. Fam, I really did like this movie. The cinematography, the costuming, set designs, it had a rockin' 70s soundtrack. All of this stuff brought the movie together nicely, and it immersed us in this era, and it really just kept a really good steady pace. This was a pretty tense, violent, just drug-filled ride, and I think you'd want to jump on board with it. They kept the story simple and to the point. They didn't go into a whole lot of detail about the events that took place, but it did give us enough context to allow us to engage and be invested in these characters. There's some strong language, there's sex, nudity, violence, not as much gore and blood as I would have liked, but hey, there is a little bit of it nonetheless. Fam, definitely look out for Dusk for a Hitman when it gets released on April the 19th. And make sure you add this thing to your watch list, because it's been watch list approved.